but you cannot chase a trade. You have to pick the time frame you want to trade and just trade those, and that makes it way easier to trade. Good morning traders, welcome back to Montreal. Today we're going to do the weekly review, and I'm still in the suit because I was in a meeting earlier. You might notice this looks a little bit different. It's because I just bought a new lens. Pretty expensive, but pretty cool. I think the quality is nice. And it's going to be wider so you guys can see more. So I want to go through all the pairs. And I think I might skip this, make this easier by going through only the pairs that are useful to talk about. The other ones I'll try to skip because it's really boring. But yeah, we'll get into that right now. So let's get on the first pair, which is CAD. We've talked about this a few times. Last week was between two zones. Now there's been like this big drop getting back to 0.97, a major support area. So I'm going to flag this one because I will look at it throughout the week to get potentially a trade set up on this zone. Keep in mind that this would be less reliable because of the fact that price went like here up, 1.0 zone, went down, and then went up and then back down. Okay, so we didn't reach a full kind of zone yet, so it's a sign that the sellers might be more in control than the buyers. So I'll be careful on this, but I would look for a potential bounce trade here on this zone. And of course we'll look on lower time frame for that. So nothing happened yet. We've just been down a little bit, consolidating here the last couple of hours of the session on Friday. But that's about it. USDJPY is at a zone right now, which we talked about a few times. So this one was flagged last week, self-flagged this week. The 82 zone, which is quite major. We've been bouncing here a few times in the past. But it looks like price didn't really react. Like we've been kind of consolidating here a little bit. We didn't go above the high of the candlestick, so no trade set up there. And here's been the same thing. Okay, as a reminder, if you guys want to know how I trade, what I look for, how I take my trades, I'll put the video also always below. It's a link on a video I explain like exactly what I do step by step. So you guys can watch this, and that's pretty useful. Now, USDJPY is doing something kind of random. See, we were pulling back this zone here in the past. I thought this would be a good reversal area, okay, resistance area. Turns out it's now more kind of a support, okay, because we pushed higher. So the trade we thought about didn't really work out. Although some people could have traded this, like this is a good setup here. I would not have traded this because it's like against what I thought would happen. If you wanted to trade this, if you expected that price would pull back here and go higher, which kind of makes sense also because we broke higher, came back down to the zone. Now you look for a trend continuation trade, that would work fine. Because that was a good trade which I didn't take, but you could have taken that. Basically the way you would have done this, we'll make this bigger a little bit, is you would enter above the high of the candlestick, the engulfing candle over here, put your stop loss below the low, and you work to risk of 3-1, which might be around, I believe here, okay? So that would have been a good trade. That would have been a profitable trade as well on USDJPY. But for now, I think it's really not important to watch the pair. It seems to be doing something random a little bit. The next zone I will be looking at is 1.13, but for now we'll unflag the pair. USD is interesting to have a look at because it sort of broke below the support area, which we thought would be a support area. When price went to this zone, it reversed a few times. It reversed here, here, which is kind of lower than the zone. So we're still technically at the zone. I'll keep watching the pair, I'll keep it flagged, and that's going to be a good place to look for buying opportunities on the pair. On lower time frame, of course, which is what I'll look for with the Bond. And I don't think we have anything so far. Euro AUD. So I missed a trade on this last week. I didn't talk about it too much, but here's where the trade happened. This would have been a losing trade. Okay, so at this zone, I was expecting here 1.57. I was expecting a reversal setup, kind of we had this pullback, so continuation to the downside, and we had this setup on the 1 hour chart. The trade didn't work out, so it's been stuffed out. That would have been a losing trade. So nothing here too much to talk about, but I will keep watching the pair because we're at the zone, and we might see more opportunities on this pair in the future, okay, especially on the 1 hour chart or the 4 hour chart. EuroCAD is coming back to a resistance area, 1.55. We've been there in the past few times, we reversed. Keep in mind this is also a pretty wide zone, okay, so we could put the box here all the way to 1.61, quite a big range. but I'm looking for bearish movement on this pair at this zone because we've been bouncing there in the past. It could break out, but we need to look for once again the setup on the chart, and that's what I'll be looking for. So I'll keep it flagged and review the pair a few times this week. USDJPY is also doing something similar except on the other side. So basically it's been toward this zone here of support, 128, and we've been there a few times in the past, also bounced quite well. This is kind of a slightly bigger zone, so let me adjust this rectangle here, and we can look for buying opportunities at this level, like I think we had over here. Okay, this would have been a pretty good trade. Also another setup I think I missed last week, probably with the flight. This was on the 27th. I was probably here, but I didn't really was functioning too well. But this would have been a good setup. So you enter above the high, stop loss below the low, and we want to risk of 3 to 1, which would have been reached on that pair. So we need to keep watching because there's other opportunities, of course. Price could pull back on the 60-minute chart, and we could look for a touch on this lower band of the Bollinger Band. That could be a good trade setup, but we have to see what happened at the 128 zone. EURUSD is also at a support zone. We've talked about this one a couple of times, and it didn't do much. We had no setup on the chart. Although I've said earlier, last week or 2 weeks ago, I took 2 trades in the pair. But for now, we just have to wait and see what other opportunities we have for bullish setup, because it's really a major pair at a major zone at this point. GBP-CHF is coming back really nicely to a support area, 1.30. Round number support area, which is awesome. And we've been bouncing here a few times in the past. Now it's coming back to the zone. We had no setup so far, but this really, in my opinion, looks nice. Right, it's kind of a move to the upside, pull back to the zone, upside, pull back to the zone. So that's really awesome. So I'll be looking to trade that for sure this upcoming week, and I'll keep it flagged. And then the CAD did a pretty strong move at a zone we talked about in the weekly review last week. Looks like we had no trade set up on this. It just went down straight for the whole week. And yeah, nothing much happened on this pair. You couldn't retrade that if you were to trade the Bollinger Band, unless you were to trade this on a lower time frame. And this is why sometimes the 15-minute chart, even a 30-minute chart, can be a good place to look for trades. Depending on the time frame you're going to look at, you might take different trades. Some trades appear on lower time frame, some trades appear on the higher time frame, but you cannot chase a trade. You have to pick the time frame you want to trade and just trade those, and that makes it way easier to trade. If you just try to chase whatever time frame you can trade, it's a recipe for disaster. You're gonna be confused all the time and looking for setup where there's no setup. Okay, so you want to pick some time frame, and even if I miss setup on the other time frame I don't look at, like the lower time frame, I don't worry about them. I don't trade them because I only focus on what I can trade myself, and that's the big, I think, key here. And finally, the last pair I want to talk about today is USDJPY. I've talked about this last week. I took a trade here that got, I think, to break even. I've shared this here. I'll put the link below for the video on that topic. But it looks like price made another setup over here that looks promising, except that we're not breaking outside the Bollinger Band completely. See, like this candlestick right here, the bullish candlestick doesn't really break out. And that, based on the rule, could be or could not be a good trade setup. For me, it's not, but we'll just see what happens. And we might get new opportunities on the forward chart because we didn't have any setup yet on this chart. But we'll keep watching the pair because we're at a major level, 111 on the weekly chart, and it's going to be a good level to look for bearish setup on the pair. So guys, that's it. We've done all the pair. We've been through everything we're going to trade this week. All the pairs that are flagged on my chart are going to be looked at daily, and the other ones also. Keep in mind, I just finished coding the alert for MT4. What I'll do is I'll open all the pairs that I have here on MT4, and I'm going to be getting the alerts on my phone. More on that in a future video, of course. But you guys know below if you want to hear about that at all or not. And now, this afternoon is going to be pretty cool. I'm heading to my parents' apartment that they bought not far from here. Well, kind of far, an hour from here. It's a kind of small city, pretty interesting. And I want to bring you guys there. We have a kind of family dinner tonight, which is going to be pretty cool. So let's head there. But first, I gotta get off this thing, because, yeah, it's not good to go in a small city, whatever. And then we're gonna be there for a couple of days, so I have to pack a small suitcase to bring there. But that's gonna be pretty cool. And we're all ready to get on the road. Alright guys, so we made it 1 hour outside of Montreal, kind of a place out of nowhere. But check this out, the view is incredible. Cannot get better than that. Guys, I cannot believe how hot it is today, and they are bringing me for kind of a walk around the area. So I'll try to do that because I have no clue what's around here, and it's time to discover the place. So hot, but I didn't expect Montreal and Canada to be that hot in the summer. But it's pretty much the reason why I come back here for the summer, because it's really awesome and the nature is like beautiful, so it's really amazing. On the bridge now that crosses the river, it's pretty high, but the view is pretty cool too, so worth it. And plus, we don't have to walk in the water. Okay, so last step of the day, because I have no battery here when we have to go back. It's gonna be a church. Should be pretty cool. I cannot see it from here, but we'll have a look at the church. I'm on this challenge to wake up at 5:30 every single morning for the next, whatever, 30 days or more for sure. And I have to wake up early tomorrow, so already like, I think 11 something. Don't forget to subscribe, comment below with your thought, and I'll catch you guys here tomorrow. Ciao.